All right, today we're going to be using our other paper, and just like last time we used cool colors, this time we're using the other side of the color wheel. We're using the warm colors. We're using red, orange, and yellow. They blend together nicely. Those are called warm colors. So, similar to what we did last time, we're going to cover this page in warm colors. But today, there is a catch. If you've ever looked up in the sky when the sun's going down, you've seen the sunset, we're going to try and make kind of like a sunset kind of pattern. Sunset fade. So it's going to be darker, richer colors up to the sky. I'm going to start with red, orange, then yellow. I'm going to make it nice fade and only use red down here, orange in the middle, yellow at the top. But I don't want it to look like bars. Well, maybe I do. It's up to you guys. As long as we're working in that kind of fade. So I'm going to grab my warm colors again, working with all these different colors, and I included pink in here because pink is just a lighter red, basically. It's red mixed with white. So I'm going to call pink okay, and that might make it a little more interesting. But let's start with a red colored pencil. I'm going to start just adding red in. And remember, we're trying to make it look kind of like a sunset. So think about if you've ever watched the sun go down or you've seen pictures, think about the colors kind of fade into each other as they go up the sky. So we got red that goes into orange. Maybe there's a lot of orange. And then as they get lighter and lighter, the orange turns into yellow. So I'm actually going to have a lot of yellow up here. And I kind of like that idea. I like a nice bright, warm looking sky color going on here. So we're fading. Just like we can mix red and yellow, makes orange, we're doing that on our paper. Red blends into orange into yellow. So I've colored the paper. Done, right? Now let's get more interesting. Let's get those details that I was talking about. Let's make sure we get to the edge of the paper. And within this, you can get really interesting. You can get crazy. You can make patterns. You can make designs. You can let a little wiggle of red get up and creep up into your orange. Just mix it in. Let it blend together. Let your textures, your patterns blend into each other. It'll make it more interesting. And I'm remembering what I did on my cool colors. I really liked how the watercolor blended in between the crayons. So I think I'm using that knowledge from before. I'm going to work it into this with a plan. I'm going to use a lot more crayon, but not solid color. I'm going to do a lot more like scribbly, so that when I color with my watercolor, it's going to blend in between. And let's do some more stuff. Maybe I want some big swirls. I like how the colored pencil kind of fades into the background once you start adding crayons and other stuff. Maybe let's try out some marker. I haven't done anything with marker yet on this. It's kind of the same kind of effect as the colored pencil. It's not super exciting. I haven't got any pink in here. Let's see what pink does. Oh yeah. Maybe work some pink up into the orange a little bit. That could be interesting. And I noticed that even the colored pencil kind of works around the crayon. So this could be kind of interesting here. So we're doing this, adding lots of pink. I'm making it kind of spotty. I don't want the whole thing to be solid. I want it to be kind of interesting. Get some weird stuff going on here. I haven't really done much with the yellow up here. Maybe I should do more with that. What kind of things can I do with yellow? I'm just going to start scribbling crayon. That seems cool. It's been fun. And it makes a neat effect when I start coloring things in. I'm actually going to use a little more yellow up, or a little more orange up into my yellow. Make some zigzag patterns, kind of like the heat or the sun is raising up into the sky here. Kind of neat. And just, let your hand and your materials guide you. There's really no wrong answer here. If you feel like this is something that looks cool, go for it. And remember, we're not making something specific. We're just coloring the page because we are going to be chopping this up and using it as colored paper. This is just to create an interesting texture for when we do, which will add depth, it'll add more interest to our main project that we're working on here. Maybe let's do some, what about some shapes? What if I mix shapes into this? That might be weird, I don't know. It's all an experiment. It's all part of the big art experiment here. Will the shapes be too distracting to my colors? I don't know. But stars are kind of fun to draw, so let's find out. Worst that happens is that I feel like making a better project next time. That's all there is to it. All right. I'm actually going to add some more yellow down here just to kind of help the colors blend back and forth. Still keeping that red, orange, yellow, but letting them kind of intermix a little bit. Maybe let's add some more pink here. I feel like this isn't very red down here. I'm going to do something to make it a little more red. Just getting in there. So, as I was saying, I'm not feeling the red down here, I feel like it could be stronger. This might be a good time to switch over to watercolor. And this time again, now with our watercolors, we are going to be ignoring the cool colors. We are not using brown and black, so we have orange, yellow, and red to work with, just like these, just like all this stuff. So I'm going to start with my red because I really want that to look bright and strong here. So I'm going to start working with the red here, get it wet. It was still dry, just add a little water, it starts getting wet. And I'm going to start painting on here. I might have used too much water. It's kind of, there we go. There we go. And it's filling in all those little spots in between the crayon. It's going to make it nice and solid. Looks like I need more water here. Just add a tiny, put a little water on your brush. Make sure it's clean so you're not blending colors into each other. And there we go. Get some kind of pinkish red going on here. It's kind of cool. It's going to be like a sunset, which is exactly what I want. Time for some good orange in the middle here. Time for some orange. Looking good. Feeling like this top part is really light. The yellow doesn't show very strong against that white, so I'm hoping that my paints will help really bring it out. I'm going to make sure there's a lot of paint on my brush, really try to get that in there and just get it going. Cover that whole paper all the way up into the corner. If you get a little water on the table, that's okay. If we're spilling stuff on the table, that is not okay. You want to be working very carefully. You don't need to go really heavy into it. Just light little bits. You can always come back for more. There we go. We've been using a lot of materials here. There's a lot to remember, but it'll be all right. Just carefully, a little bit at a time. We'll just wipe that off at the end of class. Don't need to worry about that. Mixing, kind of blending my paints together here. The yellow is so light, it needs a lot of coats, but I want to be careful not to get the paper too wet and weak. If it starts getting too wet, it'll start ripping. And that is a good time to pause and let it dry till another day. So, this is looking pretty cool. Weird design I got going here, but I kind of like it. I like this weird texture down here. I like how smooth it gets up here. I got my stars. That's kind of cool with the dark paint and the light crayon. So I feel pretty happy about it. I used my colors. I put them in order. I got nice texture. I feel like I'm going to be ready to move on to the next step. And that's it for today. All right.